brand new video, and today we have our F1 2014 Round 8 Austrian Grand Prix review. And it was a fairly good race, especially for the battle for the lead, with 4 cars being involved for that and potentially could have won the race. But in the end, Nico Rosberg did run out as the eventual winner from Lewis Hamilton, Valtteri Bottas, Felipe Massa, Fernando Alonso in 5th, then it was Perez, Magnussen, Ricciardo, Hülkenberg, Kimi Raikkonen nicked the last point, very disappointed down there in 10th, 5 positions away from his teammates who was in 5th. Then it's Button, Maldonado, Sutil, Grosjean, Bianchi, Kobayashi, Chilton, Ericsson and Gutierrez was the last finisher, 2 laps down in 19th place, having an absolute dismal race down there, picking up a penalty for an unsafe release and also having contact with Sebastian Vettel. So then, as we know in qualifying, Felipe Massa taking a very surprise pole position from his teammate Valtteri Bottas, and Rosberg was in 3rd, while Hamilton was all the way down in 9th after spinning out and not setting a lap in Q3. So then the lights went out and away they went, and then straight away both of the Mercedes got a brilliant launch off the line as Rosberg had jumped up and into 2nd place ahead of Valtteri Bottas, and also Lewis Hamilton had got up into 7th straight away off the line, and then by turn 3 or 4 he was already up into 5th, right behind Fernando Alonso, the 2 Williams, and his teammate Nico Rosberg. So then Massa was leading from Bottas on Rosberg, and Bottas had managed to get past Rosberg going down into turn 2 straight away, which is exactly what he needed to do on lap 1. So Massa was leading very comfortably from Bottas, Rosberg, and Hamilton had managed to get past Alonso, and he was up into 4th. So the Williams and the Mercedes were running very tightly close together. But then Rosberg pitted from 3rd place, and then he pitted, and then 2 laps later, crucially 2 laps later and not the same lap or a lap later, the Williams drivers and the Mercedes drivers the Hamilton came into the pits, and Massa lost the lead, and he also lost out to his teammates as Massa pitted actually 3 laps after Rosberg, and I believe Bottas and Hamilton did 2 laps afterwards. So the big loser was definitely Massa. He'd gone from 1st to 4th, and the biggest winner was Rosberg, who had gone to 3rd to 1st. Lewis Hamilton did manage to negotiate Bottas, and then the 2 Mercedes were running line astern. Hamilton just didn't have an answer to Rosberg's pace. They were very evenly matched, but altogether, Rosberg always had the situation under control. Luckily, there was no safety car, with there just being 3 retirements. Vettel retired with a problem quite early on, 37 laps down. He actually managed to nurse the problem for a bit, but eventually I think he just decided to save the engine. He's running in last, picking up, losing a bit of his front wing on the back of Gutierrez. I don't believe any penalty was given for that. Fiat was really unlucky. He was running in the points, but sadly he had a brake failure, just like John-Eric Vergne did. I'm not quite sure what Fiat had, but it was quite a bizarre incident, as we saw, a puncture on the right rear, and his car being lifted up off the ground. So then we look towards the top end of the field then, and one of the fast chargers was Perez, who had decided to do a 2-stop strategy, but crucially started on the soft tyre, the harder tyre of the 2 compounds brought to Austria that weekend. So he was finishing on the super soft tyres, and I believe might just have got the fastest lap, but that can't be confirmed. And he managed to fight his way up to 6th from 15th, and would be my driver of the day. But one driver really does stand out, and that's Valtteri Bottas in his Williams, who was faster than his teammates in that race and fully deserved to get his first podium of his F1 career. So he gets the driver of the day. The race rating itself would probably have to be 6 out of 10. It wasn't really the best race coming off the back of Canada. It should have set up to be a really good thriller, but mainly the race was won and lost in the pit stops, and that's where Lewis Hamilton lost out, really, with a considerably slower stops for Lewis Hamilton compared to his teammate Nico Rosberg. So very unfortunate for him, but altogether Rosberg fully deserved to win. A lot of people saying Hamilton deserved to win, but in Formula 1 no one really deserves to win. You have to make your own luck, and sure, you have some bad luck, but it's how you pick yourself up that matters. Magnussen did a brilliant job in 7th to completely outclass and outshine his teammate Button, who finished lowly in 11th. So it was a good race for McLaren. Ferrari definitely pushing above their weight with Alonso, who actually nearly caught Massa, and I'm sure that will give Alonso a boost coming into Silverstone. And he managed to get his Ferrari into 5th then, scoring 10 valuable points for Ferrari. Perez, of course, had a good race with Force India, while his teammate was in 9th. Perez really impressing me, I think, recently, beating Hülkenberg on the last few occasions. Of course, counting out the crash he had in Monaco and Canada. Perez definitely showing the pace better than Hülkenberg in recent races, and I think Hülkenberg really needs to pick himself up and try and beat Perez, because those two drivers, I rate them very highly, and I think they are perfect for a midfield team. I think Perez is the perfect midfield driver. Not quite as consistent as Hülkenberg, who would probably be a perfect candidate to take that Ferrari seat if Kimi Raikkonen decides to leave F1 or is sacked. Red Bull had a dismal race on their home circuit, with Ricciardo coming home in 8th, and then a retirement for Vettel. Ricciardo pulled off an absolute fantastic move on Nico Hülkenberg on the final lap of the race, and also Vettel was pulling off some really good moves before, he had that problem. He was going very slowly, fell all the way down to last, about a lap down, and then managed to get power back, but very bad race for them. Lotus had another really bad race. Maldonado had his best race of the season, but by the standards of the other teams, they were nowhere near the points. Maldonado was 2 places out, but he was a lap down and very far off Button and Raikkonen. Definitely a race to forget for Grosjean as well, only just keeping ahead of the Marussias and the Caterhams, who were nowhere near the points and not quite as near Sauber and Lotus as they had been in the past couple of races. Bianchi was ahead of them in 15th, with Ericsson, the last of the backmarkers, in 18th, and then Gutierrez having a dismal weekend, definitely one to forget. Anyway, Abbottsbury Racing, Bottas is my driver of the day, the race rating 6 out of 10. I hope you've enjoyed this review, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.